Hello everyone, welcome to Homework Help. If you find the videos useful, please subscribe to the channel. So in this video, we'll solve these two problems based on the concepts of spanning set. So as per the first problem, vectors A and B span R2. What values of M and N will make the following statement true? M minus 2 times vector A equals N plus 3 times vector B. So first let's analyze the given information that vectors A and B span R2. So that means that vectors A and B are not scalar multiples of each other. So if we multiply one or both vectors by a constant, they won't become equal to each other. So we have to find the values of M and N that will make this vector equation true. So on the left side we have vector A and on the right side we have vector B. Now since A and B span R square, they are not scalar multiples of each other. So the only way this equation can be true is if both sides become equal to 0. So for that, we'll have to find the M value that will make M minus 2 equal 0. So we'll set this expression equal to 0 and solve for M. So we should add 2 to both sides. And the 2's on the left side get cancelled out. So M equals 2. So that means if M is equal to 2, then the left side will become equal to 0. Because vector A cannot be equal to 0. So it's M equals 2 that will make the left side equal to 0. Now we should analyze the right side. Now on the right side we have n plus 3 times vector b. Now vector b is not equal to 0. So we have to find the n value that will make the right side equal to 0. So we'll set the expression equal to 0 and solve for n. So we should subtract 3 from both sides. The 3's on the left side get cancelled out. So we get n equals negative 3. So that means if m is equal to 2 and n is equal to negative 3, this equation will be true because a and b span r square, so they cannot be equal to each other. So we have to find the m and n values that make the both sides of this equation equal to 0. So this should be the final answer for the first problem. Now we can analyze the second problem. The vectors A and B span R2. For what values of M is it true that m square plus 2m minus 3 times vector A plus m square plus m minus 6 times vector B is equal to 0 vector? Now again, vectors A and B span R square. That means they are not scalar multiples of each other. That means if you multiply either A or B or both vectors by a number, you cannot get a sum of 0 or they won't equal to each other. So we have to find a way to make each term in this equation equal to 0. So for that, we have to analyze the coefficients of A and B and find the m values that will make both terms in this vector equation equal to 0. So we'll start with the first expression. We have to solve this equation. So if we find the m value that will make this coefficient m square plus 2m minus 3 equal to 0 and m square plus m minus 6 equal to 0, that will be the m value that will make this vector equation true. So we can solve this equation by doing simple trinomial factoring. So here we have to find two numbers whose sum is 2. and product is -3, and the numbers are 3 and -1. So the factored form of this equation is, so we get two cases. So from the first case, we get m equals -3 because we move the 3 to the right side and that will make it negative. And from the second case, we add 1 to both sides. We get m equals 1. So these are the two m values that will make the first coefficient equal to 0. Now let's analyze the second one. So we have to find the m values that will make this coefficient equal to 0. So we can use trinomial factoring. So we have to find two numbers whose sum is 1 and product is -6. And the numbers are 3 and -2. So we can factor the equation as, so we get two cases. So the first solution is m equals -3, and the second solution is m equals 2. Now we have to find the value of m that will make this equation equal to 0, and since a and b span r square, they are not scalar multiples of each other. So that means the only way this equation can be true is if both of these terms become equal to 0, and that will happen for m equals -3. Because this m value will make both coefficients equal to 0. So m equals -3 is the final answer. So these are the steps you have to keep in mind to solve a problem like this one. So I hope you'll find this video useful. Please share it, like it, and subscribe to Homework Help. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye.